Is that like the middle of a double distribution?
So if you take a look here, right, this is where also is resistance, right? The value area low of today is sitting somewhere around 49.5, but the prior week value area high is what I'm after, right? I want to see if this is a failed auction here and they're not able to find any buyers, right? If that's the case, then I'm looking for this to drive it all the way to the bottom to the 60s. Me personally, right? I think there's too many bulls that got excited, right? Especially today, swinging. If this is not bringing the market, nothing's going to bring the market type of attitude. They trapped the shorts today, right here. I would say they did a pretty good job. And then now I wouldn't be surprised if they do something on the bull side as well at some point where they trap them. So for me, honestly, it's the 57 is the key level going into tomorrow. In terms of TPOs, right? Let me just give you guys a monthly view because we didn't do that yesterday. Let's see here. So here's your monthly right now. And you see there's something really bullish on the monthly. Do you guys see what that is? Anyone? What is bullish about this monthly profile?
Value area high all the way up top.
Yeah, value area high all the way at the top is actually extremely bullish for this month, right? Then you're developing, I would say you're developing monthly POC somewhere around 913. I would kind of play the zone 913 to 06. Pretty big zone, right? And if this value, just pay attention to this. If this value area high, so just imagine this is a blue line and it shifts from where it's at right now and it shifts to something like this, what is market then telling you? Let's say it shifts something like this right here. And I'll make it blue so you guys can follow along. If this becomes the value area high, let's say after tomorrow, what is the market telling you then? Price acceptance above is no longer value, right? So this distribution that you have on top right here, I would say very high odds you're going to go back to this 906. Then you would ultimately have this level, and then the bottom here is what I was aiming for actually to see this week, 57.50s. But let's see how it plays out. As of right now, I do think there's a chance it shifts as long as it comes back to this value area high retest. I think we can see a shift in value. And we want to see this during cash, right? We want to see the cash open and make sure the volume's there. Does that make sense? So that's your monthly's view, I would say, right now. And you see us, right? We went above the balance, right? At some point today, the value area high shifted, and there's a lot of poor structure being, I would say, developed here. At one point, the POC was here, so the POC shifted higher. You see how I marked it? And now this becomes our, you see, this is actually our dev value area low. Right here, and this would be your POC now, right here. So you can mark this, like a little zone. That was you guys. Real bearishness starts, I would say, below this level, right? If they can't find the fair price on the monthly to be here, then ultimately, I mean, there's a lot of bad structure, and the value last time that we had accepted value was here, right? So let me just not extend this, right? So if you guys look what they did. They came in, cracked the low, proceeded higher, and now they're still making higher highs, right? Higher lows here. But we are in a really, really big zone. This is, what I would say, this is kind of the penthouse, right? And this is our February value area low kind of sitting right here. I would say this is a big, big level. I mean, if you can crack this tomorrow, personally for me, if you can crack this, new all-time highs are coming. Why do I say that? Well, look at the profile here. I mean, if you're able to crack this, at least you're gonna, catch a run all the way to here, 6115. That will be the next level. And right now we're kind of rejecting right in that area. So if they don't get above here and they lose that, let's say, what is that, like 60, 75? I'm sorry, 57. If we lose that level, I would anticipate that we have a more meaningful pullback than what we've seen today bouncing here, right? Like, I don't think this will be the low. I think we would go much lower than that. Okay. And then on the daily, today was fairly boring, actually. Let's take a look at it.
Would you draw SIGs at this point, Shorty?
No, I mean, you could, but they're basically accepting. So if I hide these candles, you'll see it much better. So if you think about this day before, so look at this. This was our Friday price action. If you guys remember, I'll go, this was your value at one point right here. You guys remember that? Let me see. Go in 5 minutes. You guys will be able to see it much better. Remember, this was our value. And then we cracked that. We said, if you're able to go above this, and if you give a retest, it was a great long. And then they just continued running Friday, right? So now if you think about it, what happened today, right? So if I just extend this over, look what they did today. They opened below it, right? They went into a pretty important zone and they bounced basically from there. They cracked it. They used this as an acceptance. They want the prices higher and they slowly, it was brutal price action. I know this looks like, oh my God, this is just trending, but this was pretty brutal. I'm on 5-minute candles and every candle had a wick, pulling back. And then these, kind of like late runs and then the spike, come back. They accepted value lower. They rejected it here. If you guys look for a moment, like if this is our value at the top, look what they did. They tried to get back inside towards the late in the day and they got rejected. So now if they can't hold, I'm talking smaller options, right? If they can't hold the 64, ultimately they're going to trade probably all the way to the bottom here at 49, right? But I believe below 457 here, considering its prior week value at high, ultimately I would say they're going to clean up these, maybe test the single prints, the buying tail that we had from today would be pretty massive. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
As of right now, there's not much bearishness being shown on the chart, guys. Don't force to be a bear, right? If you're gonna buy something puts wise, you have to see how this plays out. If they crack this tomorrow at 6,000, I'd say very high odds that we're gonna continue towards 615. Is it gonna be quick? Probably not, right? Is it gonna annoy you and give you opportunities? Oh my God, yeah, I want to get in on the short side. Yeah, definitely. So we need to start framing down, right? And we haven't done that. So today is what in terms of days? So you have an outside day, right? This was your higher high, higher low. Today you made higher high and a lower low. So this is your outside day. So you could definitely, if you want, what Free was suggesting, that you could go ahead and draw SIGs and see where we trade, right? And I don't know where we are right now. Let's see. We are right at that POC. So this is actually probably not a bad long from here and see if they defend this, reclaim 76 and go higher. I don't know what caused this. It doesn't seem technical. This was a poor high at one point. They cleaned it up. They found access of selling. So maybe just a technical, sell-off. There was a seller here. If that's the case, I would not be surprised overnight that they do this sell all the way to 38. So I would want them over 76 before you guys consider a long if you're playing overnight. Just FYI. And yeah, definitely a poor high. Top. It's a massive buying tail. I just don't know. That's how well is it going to hold? And look at the B period. I think I mentioned to you guys watch for 64.25 today. I don't know who was on chat. I mentioned watch out for, take this as a long because they clearly rejected the bottom value and then they popped. They almost had a spike. They were very close to a spike as well. They're not too far, but it seems like there's some exhaustion there as well. So not much on daily besides this access here at 41, maybe a little bit lower, 41 and a half. And that also happens to be Friday's POC. All right, I wonder where the half back is for today. So we have, wow. So 2-day value area low and 2 days in a row the half back is right at 50.75.
And the close is the same too.
That is insane. Yeah, you're right. Wow. That's pretty bizarre. I haven't seen that in a while. Okay. Well, I'll mark that close. Seems like something is important there, huh? Maybe this thing will do work. We'll see. Are we above the settle or we're right at the settle price? Yeah, I think they're gonna bounce it here. Anyone's trading this might not be a bad long. You would have to give up some points on this one, unfortunately. But let's see. There's a reason for this. I just don't know why. I would,
Is this the Asia Open? The Asian session, maybe?
I would check some. Maybe there are some FX swaps here. Something's happening here. I know there's a couple of currency that are. I know Turkey's lira is dying. I know Japan had some issues. Oh. Oh wow, that's somebody's doing some work. Hmm.
Shorty, could you show me your SVP settings really quick?
I don't have it on by here.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Could you show the other page? Thank you.
Mhm. Something's brewing, man. Something just doesn't add up here. Yeah, I don't know. I will not be very bullish just overall, but because every time we guys come here close to this level, I would not be very bullish here. Just be careful on the auction. That's all I'm gonna say. And we are at top of the monthly as well, cloud. So please don't exercise too many longs on your portfolios options. Let them give us something here, and I just don't trust buying right here, right now. Seems like a very sketchy moves up. You know, we run during the session and during ETH we sell off hard. So I'll be very cautious on the longs, right? I mean, I would want to see them clean up this, right? For me to be comfortable on the long. I want to see this hold, go make higher highs, don't get too excited, come back and then look for a long. Right now, I'm just going to be very careful on the longs. There's some exhaustion I'm buying here. There's definitely some exhaustion. Let me just check one more thing on volume. I mean, that's pretty bizarre in terms of volume. Not a single day here besides this candle, massive green that we've had April 9th. Have you had volume above average on this run? For whatever it's worth. And we're on a monthly cloud, so I'll just be very careful.
మళ్ళీ ఇచ్చారు వీళ్ళు నాకు ఇవ్వమని
Somebody's pretty hot.
I got him.
All right.
I voted for her.
I guess. So for me, it's all about that 57. I would say we're going to watch the 2-day value area low, which matches if you guys kind of scroll here, right? This was your split of value from Friday, right? So if we find that we can reject here below, I would say there's probably a very high chance from 50, I would say all the way to the bottom here, to 13, that you can catch the short. But we need the price to be rejected in this zone here. We need this to say, nope, we want to go lower, and then, you know, you got stuck a little bit here. Ultimately, you want to see them trade this to the bottom here. Okay. All right, guys. Tomorrow morning, my son they're finishing up school here in Georgia. I don't know where you guys live, but tomorrow is his field day, and also my wife and I have an anniversary tomorrow. So I'm going to take the lady out for brunch, and then I'll see if I can come back by at least 3 o'clock so I can trade the afternoon session.
Congrats, man.
Thank
That's
you,
awesome.
Shorty.
Full 20 years.
Thank you, Shorty.
All righty, guys. Thank you. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Thanks.
Bye bye.